grip. Don't grip so hard that you end up squirting your wrist in. Let the arm extend. Now that we're here, we're ready to go. So we're gonna start dumbbell slightly in front, slightly forward. When we come back here, it's almost more of an arc. So that's what I like to think about, is that it's more of a arc position to get the lat in full range of motion. So slightly forward, bring it back, slow down, slow the way down, back, slow down, back, slow the way down.
A few things worth noting about the single arm row. Can be used for hypertrophy, so we can use low reps, higher weight, high reps, lower weight, depending on what our goal is here. As obviously as compared to a barbell row, the loads are going to be lighter, so you may be focused on a more hypertrophy component. The benefits and the purpose of this exercise, most of the benefits to note are because it is a unilateral exercise, so you're able to have more control over the movement. You performed correctly, you can have full range of motion that the lat's able to go through, so full stretch and lengthen and contraction. Address muscular imbalances or asymmetries. Since it's a unilateral movement, we also have more need for the core to properly stabilize, so the core can resist the twist that I talked about. As a side note, in the video of the one arm row, what I was using, I was actually more at a 90-degree angle, which ideally you want to be a little bit higher, like using an actual bench. So you don't want to use like the top of the rack. You want to use the top of the rack, and you don't want to be like all the way down here. So like a 20-degree angle would be ideal to get the proper range of motion. To go about the kettlebell swing, you can place the kettlebell about a foot in front of you, feet about shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent. Bend over, bring your shoulders back and down. Grab the kettlebell. I want to force this weight evenly into my heels before I brace the core. Okay, we're going to bring it back and then straight up. Our wrists are going to touch the inside of our legs. We don't want to be down here and letting the kettlebell away from our center of gravity, center of our mass. So we want to keep it up here. We bring the kettlebell back, our hips are going to go slightly back. They're going to be back and up, and that's also what our hinging motion looks like here. Hinge at the hips is not a squat. Is that the kettlebell swing primarily targets the glutes and the hamstrings. Obviously, like I said, focusing on that hinging motion. The biggest component is generating power. In strength and conditioning, the kettlebell swing is a accessory movement. It's not a replacement for our, heavy weightlifting exercises, but it can be used as an accessory movement. It does have application in your beginners, our rehab settings, and functional fitness. One of the key populations that I was able to find research for is that the kettlebell swing may have implications to be used in sprinters, a large acceleration phase that they need to go through, and it has to be quick, explosive. So that's where the kettlebell swing comes into training. We're focusing on that power. The progress a bit for the kettlebell swing, we can try a one-arm kettlebell swing. It's gonna look just like the two-arm, just one arm. Regressions, the kettlebell swing can be used for most populations. if they know how to hinge at the hips. So if we still need to establish that, we can use a dowel rod and then work on the hinge.